Welcome everyone, Jose21 Crisis here, and today we're going to be playing Grand Prix World, a game made by Microprose, which is their last of their F1 Manager games, and the second to last before F1 Manager came out. This game is from 1998. Then came EA's F1 Manager in 1999, and then there was this gigantic gap all the way to F1 Manager. A small gap there. So this is not the base game version of the game. This is Grand Prix World 2001 remastered by Mini. Hello there, great mother. And the objective is, well, you should know the objective if you come from the blog post, but if you don't, we're gonna start a new game. Here's a bunch of information about Formula One in case you need it. We won't be visiting that section because I guess you're well-versed or somewhat well-versed in Formula One. The objective of this campaign will be not play with Ferrari. We're going to be playing as Prost, a team that in real life died after this season. This series goes by the name Justice for Prost Grand Prix. The description of this team is: in 2001, Prost had a better season compared to last year in terms of points, but it will be their last in Formula One. The Prost team had a total of 5 drivers during 2001 and only one scored points. That one is John Lacey. In the start of 2002, the Prost team went bankrupt due to a lack of sponsorship and investors. Your objective is to score 4 points. What's your goal? Same meaning. So, the objective is, well, to score 4 points at least this year. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that, we're gonna try. But the main goal we're gonna try to achieve over the course of this series is to build a French super team. That is, a team with only French drivers. We only have, well, we actually have 2 of them, Alesi and Saracen. With only French drivers and with only French suppliers. That's gonna be pretty difficult to achieve because we only have 4 French drivers in this mod. You should know the details if you came from the blog post. I listed a set of house rules that we're gonna use during this save, and I'm going to abide by them. The game had a bit of a moment there. So anyway, here we are. This is our main screen, Grand Prix World, Prost. Over here on the left. On the right, we have a map of France on where we are right now. Guyancourt, that's our HQ. Our location is important in terms of which races are more expensive for us. Over on the left, we have a bunch of menus, most of which I'm not gonna go in detail of on this episode. This is pretty much just an introductory episode. We don't have the time to go into races, and I want to keep this fairly short, like 20 minutes or so. So over here we have details. That's me, that's our balance, our current position, the points we have, our wins this year, which we should have none, our score, our manager score, the year we're currently in. We can only go 10 years, we have 10 years to achieve this dream. Our drivers, different stats, our staff, tech director, designer, mechanic, and commercial manager. These two, Duran and Bodiner, are the most important characters in the game. The manager, commercial manager, and technical director. We'll go over that over the course of the season, what they do, what they're important. But for now, we don't have that much time. We need to start putting things to work. This is the news section. This is a one-time message that says, hey, I'm the new team boss. Hello. And this is a one-time message per season, only happens in pre-season, which says, hey, the FIA is gonna pay the teams for, existing. Concord agreement. We're gonna get paid 13 million by the FIA, which is not a lot. We'll go into more detail about how this works, how much money we get, etc., in the next episodes. Not specifically in the future, basically. We have a finance section here that doesn't have that much data. Let's go over the first important point in this whole save, which is which drivers we're signing and staff in general. This is the staff section. We can hire drivers, people for commercial, design, engineering, and mechanics department, which we will go into in a couple minutes. But first, we need to sign some income. As you can see, we have Jan Lacey over here. He costs nearly 6 million, and some other bonuses that he's not going to get this year because he's not going to win a race or a championship. We also have Max Akane here. His salary is red. That means he's a paid driver. We need 2 paid drivers for next year. Reason? We need to make money. You do not survive in Formula 1 if you do not have money. If you have money, you can do a lot of stuff, like hiring better people, getting better facilities. But we cannot do that because we barely have 1.6 million. That's not a lot. Ideally, we also get a test driver, but that's not a priority. Here are the different stats, ratings for the drivers. Down here are the actual stats, French. Ideally, we get 2 French drivers in the main driver's seat, but we are not going to survive if I am to do that. We need paid drivers at least for these first 2 years, I think. So we're gonna go on the market. I'm going to hire a number 1 driver that's also a paid driver. I have 2 drivers in mind. As you can see, here's every driver on every team. Look at them. You may have seen a few that are interesting. Here's everyone that's not on a seat right now. None of these guys are paid drivers yet, so we don't want them. I'm going to go over here to Minardi. Here's going to be our number 1 driver. This kid by the name of Fernando Alonso, he's a paid driver. He pays quite a bit. If we had him and a Lacey, he would pretty much didn't have to care about a Lacey's salary because he nearly pays everything. We're going to hire this guy as a number 1 driver. That's going to be his role. He's going to be our main driver throughout 2002 and 2003, hopefully. First, to sign a driver, I have to make an offer. I'm going to make this offer, which is paying him 10,000 per race, 20,000 championship bonus. I can also alter the seasons. I'm going to have him for hopefully 2 seasons. That should be enough. And the role, which is going to be number 1. See? He's happy. Now, in the house rules, I said that I first had to approach a driver before signing them, before changing the offer. I'm not doing that for Alonso because if I had set the race and championship bonus to season, he would have accepted anyway. So I'm going to have to increase those for my next driver as well. So we're going to sign Alonso as a paid driver for 2002 and 2003. The other guy I had in mind, I think it was Enrique Bernoldi. Yeah, 6 million. Fairly good. Just Verstappen's here, but he's not that. He doesn't pay that much money. Let's see if there's any other paid driver that seems interesting. Well, there's Tarso Marquez, but no. I think Bernoldi and Verstappen are the only ones that I could ideally hire. I don't think there's any other paid driver over here. Oh, well, there's Matsukane, but you know, Bernoldi, 6 million or cash. So same offer as Alonso, whatever they give us, plus 10,000 race bonus, 20,000 championship bonus, 2 years, number 2 driver. So he's not happy because he wants to be at least a number 1 equal, and because he wants more years on that contract, which I'm not exactly willing to offer. I'm going to approach Joss. I could resign Matsukane. I wasn't planning for the guy to not sign with us. Damn it. I'm going to make an offer to Joss. Oh, how are these ratings? I should have thought this better. Oh god. I probably should have hired Joss as the number 1 and Alonso as the number 2. Whatever, I'm gonna make him an offer. You see this wet weather rating over here? That rating is OP. Will he accept? For another strong championship contender, he's right. It's a junior role, not a strong financial package, and the contract is too long, so... I mean, he accepted the monetary part, but nothing else. We might not sign Bernoldi. No, I don't want Marquez. I don't want Matsakane either. We will visit that in the next after the first race. Okay, now we need to sign staff, and we're going to start with the commercial manager, because if we don't, the good ones will leave and we will be screwed. And the commercial manager is the most important character in terms of backmarker teams like we are, because they deal with signing sponsors, so we need a good one. I'm just going to forward 3-year deals to these guys, or 2-year deals to the level 3 guys. The reason being is I cannot sign anyone higher, partly because of my house rules and partly because they are expensive, and this royalty percentage, whatever sponsor they sign, they get a part of it. And these numbers can get pretty high pretty fast, and I don't like it. So we're going to be dealing with these 4 men. Hopefully I can pick up one of them pretty quickly at the Jaguar guy ring. It's probably going to be our main priority since he is happy with the team and with the duration. Other than that, we'll have to negotiate. We also have lower personnel, and these augment the ability of our current chief. I'm going to hire a good okay. One of my house rules, let me explain why I'm doubting right now. One of my house rules is that I can only hire trainees, and to get more averages, goods, very goods, excellence, I have to fire a lower level guy and move them to a higher level. So if I wanted this average, I will have to fire a trainee and then hire this average. Basically, if I want to level up people, the staff must remain the same. I can only do it from one level to another. So if I had a trainee and an excellent, I cannot fire a trainee to hire an excellent. That doesn't work that way. Of course, if you are playing the game normally, you will sign this. So I'm going to hire this trainee, and if I were simulating this thing, I will give him back and basically hire the average. So basically I hired a trainee and leveled up one trainee to average. This is a bit complicated, but this means things will be slower and more difficult, which is kind of needed with this game because at times it can get pretty easy. So I'm gonna hire that average. I really need more people here. Design. The designer deals with the design of the car. In other words, how fast the design goes, and the design of new components like front wings, diffusers, that kind of stuff for the car. So pretty important. I'm going to forward offers to the level 3 guys as well. To all of them. I'm not gonna alter their contracts terms. They mostly are happy with the championship bonus because that depends on your current championship standings, and I think also the previous year championship standings. Forget Sergio Rico. And if your team is good, like first they're gonna want a raise, a ton of extra money. If you're the worst team, like we were last year, 2000, well, they will be happy with no raise. None of them. Well, Mark Smith. I think that's Mark Smith. Don't destroy me if he's happy with the team condition. Not with anything else. Sergio Rilland here is happy with the 2 years, but not with the team itself. Here we can hire 2 trainees, and I'm gonna fire an average to get a good. If you fire someone, you have to pay redundancies, which isn't good, but okay, the cash didn't go down immediately, it goes down. What's the term? Between turns, okay. The technical director, this is extremely important. They deal with how good the car is. Okay, Osler is interesting. They deal with how good the car is, and if you have a level 5, like Ross Brown right here, or even a level 4, your car will be good. It will be at the very least podium capable. I could go for these guys, but look at how much cash they have, look at the salary these people want. So no, we're not going to hire Adrian Newey. Yet. Or maybe we will. Hire a trainee. hire an average because I hired a trainee, fired one to get an average. So there we go. And mechanic, these guys deal with repairing the cars, which, Formula One cars get damaged easily. I'm going to hire 2 trainees, fire an average to get a good one. We probably will be living between good, average, and trainee because if guys aren't happy and they're high level, they will just resign and go to another team, which weakens our current team and means tasks take longer to accomplish. As you'll notice, as this season goes along, because these morales have 100%, it will go down. And mechanic, chief mechanic, again, 2-year offers to most of the people here. Gibson did not like our team, to those words. Curadly? We're not a strong team. What can I tell you? None of them think we're a strong championship contender, which is absolutely right. We are not. Okay, that's it for the staff section. Now we're going to go to the engineering section. We're not going to be doing much in this at this time. What we're going to do is go into here, construction. This is engineer section. Our engineers are assigned to build spare parts, which we definitely need. For what? To repair the race cars. So we need a ton of spares. If you don't have enough personnel to build one of these things, you can pay extra to get it, which is very good. These other parts are also important, but not on this particular episode. Now we're going to the most important section in the game, which is commercial. Why is it the most important section in the game? Sponsorship. Sponsorship will decide whenever we survive or we die. So we need good sponsorship to survive. Over here we have how much sponsors pay us, but that's a lie. Why? We're gonna go to this tab, which is which sponsors we have for this year. If you add our cash team sponsor, or well, they are our team sponsor. If you are our team sponsors plus all of these low-level cash sponsors, you get to this figure. But what this figure doesn't take into account is that we're paying nearly 10 million for Ferrari engines and 600k plus for tires and fuel. So this number goes down to roughly 2 million. So we'll be making 2 million from sponsorship, which is not great at all. That needs to improve for 2002. How we do that? Well, we have a commercial department. We have to ask that commercial department to go talk to those guys to make them happy. But first I have to do something, which is in my house rules, that is licensing. I have to put 10% of my personnel doing licensing. In an ideal world, you fill up these bars, sign a licensing deal, and you get some cash, not a ton, but some. This takes too long to be effective, but I need to burn some of my staff doing this. And who knows, maybe we'll get a fan club or something. Now we go back here. I have 90% of my people, and the first tab here is team sponsors. Not even Red Bull is gonna be interested in us, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm gonna put 25% of the people here, which will be just enough to get them to tell us, hey, what do you want from us? Do you want to talk with us? If yes, this series gets a lot shorter because we're gonna have cash. If not, well, it'll go like longer, like what I originally planned it to go. Engine, we're going to go down here for Asia. Why? Asia Tech is in French. There you will be wrong. Why? Because Asia Tech doesn't build engines. These are just Peugeot engines with the Asia Tech brand on it, and Peugeot is very much French. So I'm gonna put 10%. The number I'm putting here depends on this cash value. As you can see on Red Bull, it is 1. I should have actually put 5 here, but let's put 10. I was thinking if I were to call one of these top guys, but they will not. Okay, tires. Bridgestone, they are very Japanese, so we have no interest in them. Michelin, they are very much French, so I'm gonna put 20%. Is it 20%? Yeah, 20%. And see if they, they want to talk with us. Fuel, we're gonna go all the way down here to Elf, which is a level 1 cash. I'm gonna put 10% of it. Yeah, I'll talk about more detail when the sponsorship negotiation appears over here, which is gonna be next turn. Cash sponsors, I will try to sign our current cash sponsor, Acer, and where's Parmalat? Yeah, Parmalat over here. Why Parmalat? Well, one of our personnel, in real life at least, one of our investors is Pedro Diniz, and his main sponsor is Parmalat. So there you go. I'm gonna put 2020. Acer will not tell us the deal terms just yet, I think, but Parmalat is, I think, more important because we'll be able to sign them quicker because this value is lower. If you didn't get anything, cash over here is how fast you negotiate with sponsors. So over here, Asia Tech, which is a level 2, we can negotiate pretty quick. Instead, if you go to Ferrari or Mercedes, it will take a while longer. By the way, we are signing the very Italian engines from Ferrari, which is a crime. We should not be signing Italian engines. We're going to be signing French engines. Discount French engines, and then we're going to go to Renault and sign theirs as well at some point. Same with tires, same with cash. Okay, Parmalat is definitely not French, but I don't care about cash sponsors themselves. We need to make cash. Best believe that. Hospitality, this section, we're not gonna be dealing with this section at all during this turn. Why? Because that costs us cash, and we have 1.4 million, we cannot spend cash. Next up is the racing section. Currently, our drivers are number 1 equal. That's what their contract states and what our orders state. Why Alesi is not number 1 with Matsakane number 2, we will never know. We can change the driver orders. I have a way of setting it using an Excel spreadsheet. On the next episode, you'll see all of this filled out with the correct values. Probably I'll do some alterations on the hospitality page as well, but I think right now that should be fine. I'm gonna confirm the orders for now. Over here, I put 10%. This is how much the staff focuses on certain activities. So over here, pit stop is how much you practice pit stops. If you get this to 5, there won't be a single pit stop error during the whole race. But I cannot do that because I have to put at least 10% of my staff in everything else, except car scrutiny. Car scrutiny I'm going to do when there is a driver aid somewhere out there. But there are no driver aids out there. Yeah, that's a thing. There can be driver aids. There are no driver aids out there, so I'm not going to put 10% here. Instead, I'm going to put it in race scrutiny. Here is the assembly, which lets us pick which of everything our drivers use. In this case, there's engine. As you can see, our Ferrari engine is pretty powerful, fairly reliable, so it shouldn't blow up too much. Fuel mixture, which, cool. We don't have anything, and we cannot build anything else because we're just a customer, and we don't have any cash anyway. Or tire, we're gonna go for Michelin Hards for both guys. One stop is very good around Australia. And here's our setup. I'm going to talk about this, as you have heard many times, in the next episode. Don't worry. All of this will be explained in future episodes, but we don't have that much time. This is just an introductory episode that complements chapter 0, which, well, if you haven't read it, it should be in the description. I'm going to confirm the setup, not that we can do anything because we don't have setup points, but the most important thing about this track is that low heat rating means track is hotter, low wind rating, there's more wind, which affects our performance, and high rain rating means that it is very unlikely that it rains. Surface means our suspension suffers, tarmac is how much the tires wear, dust is, well, that. Overtaking is how hard or easy it is to overtake, that's okay. Speed and grip, self-explanatory. And braking is how much the brakes wear. I think for this episode that's going to be it. I have to do some tests to determine the optimal driver orders over here, as well as to make an image that tells us how good each car is. That can be done pretty quickly. In fact, I'm probably gonna be recording the next episode right away. I plan to upload this one, chapter 0 or episode 0, and episode 1 right after the other, so that after people see this one, they immediately can jump into episode 1 and get into some action. We have the Australian Grand Prix coming up, and I'm gonna be running that, as well as the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'm not gonna be showing the full races because that takes too long. Maybe I will record a bit in between during the races, some event that's important, but other than that, I'm not going to be showing you everything. Let's save this one. This one was another attempt at this, where I tried to make a certain sponsor appear, but they didn't. And I think that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and episode 1 is right there, so go watch it as well. See you then.